Hello and welcome to Mastering the Chakra Sequencing here on the Astroflower. It's going to go into the background information on the messages from energy, but also on the star sign readings that I do on the Thursday and the Friday. And I talk about the chakra sequencing within those videos. And I thought I'd go into basically why this matters and how it can help you when you are confronting your life doing anything, and you can get yourself into a rhythm with the energies that are constantly moving around us and moving in within us. So the chakra sequencing, let's just get into basically what a chakra or chakra system is. So if you imagine, we all talk about the light body. I talk about the electromagnetic body. So it's all to do with your electromagnetic field, which is your aura. And your aura is created by your chakras in a way. And your chakras, if you like, is this electrical cable that goes through, that carries the energy through your body, which creates node points like we get in magnetic fields. And this is exactly what we get into the sun. When we have a solar flare, it's when the magnetic field of the sun gets entangled and then releases energy into the solar system. And that's exactly what our chakras do as well. At some point, our chakra will get a little bit tighter. And as it does, it gets a short circuiting within the cables that's going through our body, which we also call as the Kundalini sort of energy. And it sort of sparks and creates a discharge of that chakra within to our aura. And that vibration then connects with the vibrations that are around us and changes how we are, our emotions, our physical state, and our determination, and so forth. So understanding the chakra system is like having that we are a system, electromagnetic system, and we are connected to the Earth system, and then in turn connected to the Sun system, and then from the Sun to the galaxy, the universe, etc. So understanding electromagnetics is going to be quite important. So let's just quickly look at the electromagnetic fields, okay? So we're talking about the left hand and the right hand wall. And this is very particular when we're talking about energy. So electromagnetism, you've got a vertical energy to start with, and then you have a horizontal energy at the same time. And then you also get a directional flow, a wave, if you like, that comes from this crossing point. So you have this energy that where your connection to the universe or the Earth's energy is not through your crown chakra, it's not through your root chakra either, it's not through your heart chakra. The electrical system would be too much of a charge for your own particular chakra to deal with. So it comes into your body right in the center of your physical being, which is directly behind your sternum, which is below the heart chakra but above the solar plexus. And that is an internal chakra. It doesn't actually go out, and it's so powerful that it maintains like the magnetic ball that we find in the center of the Earth, or the magnetic center of the sun, like the center of a galaxy as well. You find that magnetic ball, that is its connection to the rest of the universe. So we have this point just behind our sternum, and from that the energy goes up and goes down. And it goes up and down at the same time. And it usually goes up through, well, I say it usually goes up through, it goes through two cables going up and two cables going down. So you have one on your right and your left, if you like. So as it goes up, it comes down, but then also it goes up and comes down there. And you have the same thing that then goes into your root chakra. So those energies there eventually are just going like that. Now that creates that vertical energy, that raison d'etre. If you can also picture it like the staff of Tot. That is your vertical energy. The reason you are here, the ultimate goal of what you're trying to understand or experience. So then, therefore, you can take that experience and add it to the collective human experience. As this energy goes up and down, yes, it crosses over, and sort of that is that wave movement. So that is that vertical energy, and it doesn't really go out much. It does go out a lot more at the top of the crown and at the base in the root chakra. So now we've got the vertical energy, which goes up and down, and then we've got the horizontal energy, which goes outwards from the crown and from the root, and then we get the directional flow. Now, if we can, let me just sort of see if we can show you. You can see my fingers are curled in one particular direction. If I put the other hand, hang on a second, if I put my other hand in the other way, it's going the other way. So it flows in both directions, and that's why we've got the two cables that go up and that go down. As they cross over, they create an electrical magnetic discharge. They don't actually touch, and that's what an infinity sign is all about. When it crosses over, it does not actually touch in that central point. That central point creates that tension, that actually creates that sort of node, that point of chakra. And then we have, in those crossing points, we have the chakra or the energy that gets forced out from us, like, if you like a flower that comes outwards, and that is from the crossing point that's being, the energy is being pushed out, and that creates that horizontal energy of our chakra system. And we have the sacrum, the solar plexus, the heart, and then the third eye throat chakra, because they are actually the same chakra. It's just one chakra. If you imagine, I happen to have some flowers here, which is really quite nice. I'm just going to borrow them. If you like, the best way to explain it is your chakra sort of goes through you like that. So I've got my lovely flower at the front, but I've also got my lovely flower at the back. But what it actually does is the third eye is very much where it's bent over behind me, so it comes like that. Yeah? What about that for real life animation? No computers involved in that at all. Thank you very much, nature. So you get this one chakra that goes like that. So the crown and the root is one chakra. You have the third eye and the throat chakra, which is one chakra. And then you've got the other four chakras. Now, they tend to be pushing outwards. The heart chakra is a very particular one. I go into it a lot on all of my workshops that I do. And it has a different types of petals according to the intensity of the crossing point of your vertical energy that goes out. Now, as this energy goes up and down, this creates a rhythm within the chakras themselves, which create an emotional state or a physical state of being. Once we know the sort of like rhythm that we have, and when it crosses over in certain chakras, it may cross over more in one point, and then, so there's no particular one rhythm. It's constantly adapting to the energy and the situations that are around you. If you were in a neutral position, it pretty much goes as crown and root, which creates your vertical point. That's what it starts at. Then we have the heart, solar plexus, third eye throat chakra, and then sacrum. And then it goes back to the original point of going up and down. But sometimes that rhythm changes, and chakras do change constantly. And being in touch with oneself and finding the point zero energy is essential to all of this sort of work that we do. You can see a video of that on our channel. I'll try and put it up around my head so you can click on it and find it. So as I do this on my weekly readings on a Wednesday, and on the star sign readings on the Thursday and the Friday, on the Wednesday, I get a general feel of the energy and the chakra sequencing that comes through. And then on individual signs, it's how individual signs with your elements and so forth are playing a lot more on certain chakras and rather than others. And this can then be combined to the general energy. And there you can see your strengths that come out within your system. So when I talk about the chakra sequencing, it could be, so automatically it will go for the crown and the root chakra. And then after that, it will be another chakra that comes up first. Say, for example, the solar plexus. So it comes to the solar plexus. Let me just do Let me see the chakra sequencing that's going on at the moment, shall we? Okay, so just finding that 0 point, really easy to find that 0 point. Fantastic energy line that's coming through here. Okay, so you've got that there. I've got the crown and the root. There you go. That's the vertical energy. I'm noticing that, and I can take it to the next level now. And now I get the other chakras that start playing in. I get the solar plexus that is playing first, now followed by the throat, more than the third eye, because I'm not trying to overthink things. I'm trying to express things. And then it's moving on again. It's coming to the heart, and it's reminding me, don't forget, this should be fun. And then it goes down to the sacrum, and therefore I've got to get back to the essential things that I should be trying to convey. And then it goes back to the crown and the root. And once you can recognize that rhythm there within you, when you are trying to do something or confront something in life, if you confront it within that rhythm, okay, so I can't quite remember exactly how it went. Solar plexus, throat, heart, and then sacrum. I can't remember. Yeah, so in that, it's basically, so for me, when I'm confronting anything in life, if I've got that sequencing within me, and let's say I wanted to write a book, or I wanted to make a video, or I wanted to do a bit of my gardening and so forth. And it's the first things it's saying to me here is waiting for that moment where you have that determination that builds within you, and that moment saying, "Okay, I got to do it." And then you follow that. So then, therefore, you start with that. And then you start telling yourself or communicating with yourself or understanding to yourself, okay, what do I need to plant first? So that's where the throat chakra comes into play. And then after that, how do I want to be doing this? What sort of, what sort of tools do I want to be using, or what sort of sequencing I want to be planting all the things up? And then it's getting down to the fundamental things of actually doing. And then I come back to my crown and my roots. And it's the same thing if I was wanting to write a book. And let's just say, for example, the third eye comes up first of all before the solar plexus. So that means the idea, I've got to get the idea absolutely clear in my mind. And then I come down to maybe my sacrum, and that's my fundamental desires of kind of going, how am I actually going to physically do this or put this into place? And then from then on in, I get the heart, and that's where I can start enjoying constructing what I so wish to do and get that sort of desire to get it on and do. And probably the solar plexus that will be following through at the end. And the moment it does, and I can feel that confidence, because that's where confidence will be found, in your solar plexus. And when I got that confidence to actually get on and do, everything should be clear. And as I say, like, for example, if I'm writing a book, I've got that idea, I've got the fundamentals, I've got the joy of doing it, of what I wish to do and how I would like to do it, and then I get on and do it. Once I start writing the book, it's the same thing. If I then go back and respect that rhythm there, the ideas will then start flowing. And you can say that in a creative sense as much within a physical sense. No matter what you're doing, even down to making a cup of tea. If you know it's a good idea to do this in the morning, so then you get your sort of heads up for the day of the general sort of rhythm. And it's always good to check in every now and then. The only thing, that I like to say this, everybody can do this. It's like everybody can heal. Everybody can do anything they want, as it were, with energy in a way, in a certain sense. The only thing that I have over other people is time. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I've been concentrating on these things for 30 years. Well, even more than that. But it doesn't make it, no one is better or worse, as it were. So don't believe you can't do this. You can, just by taking the time, because eventually you will understand you. And once you understand you and how you work, you will be finding it easier to find that point zero, and therefore you will be easier to find those chakra sequencing and so forth. If you have problems finding your chakra or feeling your chakra, You know, I do that on the workshop. If you want to try and do it at home, dowsing is probably the best way to start. And that's dowsing with 2 copper rods, where you can go dowsing for water, gold, anything. You know, I dowsed once. I'll give you a little story. There was a river running by our house, and we'd had a little bit of a flood, as it were, and it brought a lot of sand onto the bank. And all the kids, in the next couple of days, all the kids were playing on the banks of the river because it was in the sand. And it was a little bit like the beach. And I went there, and my neighbor was there, and one of the daughters was looking, her daughters was looking into the sand, kind of going, you know, where is this, you know, looking for something. And I said, you know, what are you looking for? And her mother was with her, and she said, well, she was playing in the sand, she lost her ring. And I said to the young girl, I said, okay, picture the ring. So I pictured the ring, and I got the horizontal and vertical energy of where the ring is. And I literally bent down, picked up a handful of sand, opened my hand, and the ring was sitting directly on top of the sand. And it is phenomenal how far you can take it. But once you get into dowsing and feeling that type of energy, that's when you can start to learn a lot more about you and your connection to energy. The more that we can get in line with energy, you don't have to get in line with me, you have to get in line with energy. And that is really important. No one is in front of you, no one is your master. Energy will be. And once you get into alignment with the energy, that's when you become an instrument that you can play in the orchestra of energy. So finding your point zero and recognizing that chakra sequencing within you will help you enormously to do what you want to do in that day. And that's why I go into the chakra sequencing on the messages from chakra, but also on your weekly readings on Thursdays and Fridays as well. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a bit of background information, because some people do ask about what's this chakra sequencing all about, and it's pretty particular to my understanding of energy that I've been, as I said, exploring a very long time. And I've created my own sort of system of, created my understanding of energy, which is very simple. I try and keep it very simple as possible. That I can, you can explain to little children as much as you can explain to, very well in, deep people. So yes, there you go. I hope that helps you out. I hope that helps you to find your exact sequencing, your rhythm within you, your own personal instrument, your spirit, so then you can apply it to the world that is around you, and we can co-create something absolutely amazing. This new world is just waiting for you. That's all it is, to get involved. Life is for living, and there is nothing else to it. There's not, life is, when I ask that question, people often say, life is for exploring, love, and all of this, and say it's just simply for living to start with. You get to that basics understanding, from there, you can take it to a much higher level. Okay, I will be doing, I'm doing a live on that tonight, Saturday night, exceptionally. Normally I do it on the Sunday, but Saturday evening at 2100 hours UK time. You can come and ask questions on any of this or anything to do with energy. You have to be subscribed in order to ask questions. So I thank you for your subscription and your likes and your shares and so forth. I will see you soon on any of the other videos that we do on this channel. But don't forget, in the meantime, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.